Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Hey, what's cooking good looking? Or should I say, bonjour? Because EVO France was this weekend. Yes, sir, EVO France. And I know I'm a couple days late, but I've been really busy. Hey, as far as you know, I could have been at EVO France, and that's what's taken me so long to upload this video. The thought of that should scare you. But aside from EVO France, Comic-Con was this weekend as well, right? So we got a lot of announcements. Most of it was fighting game related, right? Which is really cool. So I just wanted to go through all the announcements that we got from EVO France and like maybe one or two Comic-Con announcements, because like I said, we did get a lot of stuff. Some of these things are kind of mind-boggling, like things that we never thought would happen. You know what I mean? So it was a really good weekend. Really quick, guys, before we get to it, a quick word from our sponsor.
This video is sponsored by Instant Gaming. Money rules, we all know it. Which is why I partnered with Instant Gaming to help my viewers get their hot little hands on the newest releases. If you're anything like me, your wallet is probably on fire. Constantly. Too many games, not enough cash. There's a lot of fighting games on the way, fellas, and they ain't cheap. This is some premium button mashing we're talking about. With over 10 million satisfied customers, Instant Gaming has your back, baby. They look at the overinflated prices established by the industry, and they point and laugh at them. On top of that, all their games, cards, and subscriptions are backed by verified reviews and all-day customer support. So you can rest easy knowing that your hard-earned fight money is safe when shopping with Instant Gaming. Click on our custom link in the description to get started, and happy fighting, fellas. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video.
Alright, thank you for that, I appreciate it. Now, let's get into these announcements, shall we? Oui. I'm joking. Dude, I can't speak French. France is like my, natural enemy. Dude, funny story. I once knew this French girl, and, she would say French things to me all the time, right? The only French I knew was this phrase right here from this song, which I didn't even know what it meant. This is why you don't speak languages if you don't know what the words mean, guys. And I said this to her, and she looked at me wide-eyed and gave me the ooh la la. Which, this is why I don't speak French anymore. And she told me to never say those words again. Nice lady. Anyway, guys, the first thing I want to talk about, the first announcement of many, which I don't know if it's many, but there's some good quality announcements that came out of this weekend. The first thing is we got an Invincible announcement. We got a new character, and it is not who I thought it was going to be. We all thought that it was going to be, Alan the Alien or someone, right? A big name character going into Comic-Con / EVO France weekend. That's not who it was. It was, what's the dude's name? Cecil. And you're probably like, Cap, wait, Cecil, the guy in the business suit? The guy that just, he sits in the office all day? Yeah, that's him. Cecil is the next character for Invincible Versus, and honestly, man, he looks kind of sick. They turned him into this, he's kind of like a full-screen zoner style character, right? Most of his moves involve him teleporting, so he's you can see him positioning himself around the screen, but also he can summon the, dude, what are those robots called? The undead dudes? They're like dead bodies being controlled by cybernetics. So most of his moves involve him teleporting around and then summoning these dudes to fight for him. And then all of his physical attacks involve him using technology, which of course, right? It's Cecil. That's kind of what he does. So he has a lot of guns, a lot of laser cannons and stuff like that, right? Which he looks cool. I don't know how else they could have made Cecil a fighting game character. So listen, man, no complaints from me. I think some of his animations look a little jank, but like I said, dude, there's only so much they could do with this character, in my opinion, and I think they did a good job, right? So Cecil was the first thing. He started the weekend off, but also technically it was at Comic-Con. Also at Comic-Con, I just want to touch on this really quick. It's not really that big of an announcement, but DC Comics are currently doing this it's kind of like a fighting game styled comic book event. It's called DC KO, right? And as all you guys know, Injustice 3 is seemingly right around the corner, right? They're probably going to announce Injustice 3 at the Game Awards this year, which is 2 2 months away. Let that sink in. Isn't that crazy? Dude, honestly, we're halfway through October. It's less than that. You know, man, dude, where has time gone? Anyway, this big comic book event, it's lasting for the rest of the year until like next year, right? And they announced that Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat is gonna play a role in this like comic story, right? Not only him, but like, you know, Homelander's there. Red Sonja, is that her name? The barbarian chick, she's there. Vampirella, the Annabelle doll, right? It looks like, dude, if this image leaked a year and a half ago with the Mortal Kombat 1 logo on it, I would totally believe it. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is the next DLC. You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know, dude. Maybe for our next Injustice game, it's not just... clearly something's going on at DC Studios. That's all I'm saying, right? Because like James Gunn's in charge over there now, and he made a comment that he wanted Deadpool to be in the Peacemaker season finale, right? So it seems like they're getting kind of fast and loose when it comes to their, you know, their guest characters and, you know, the IPs that they're allowed to use, right? I'm just saying, maybe this is a, you know, a quick sneak peek of what we could expect in the next Injustice game, right? If so, I'm totally down for it. So, moving on from all the Comic-Con stuff, that's what that was. Let's talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ. I made a whole video about this. This was the talk of the town this weekend, right? Dragon Ball FighterZ made an appearance at EVO France. Super cool. We all love us some Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's a game that we all thought was done. Then they announced that there would be a balance patch, right? And that has already gone live, right? There's some crazy stuff in there. Seriously, right? It's like they wanted to you know, put a second wind into this game, if you will. And they did a good job. People are talking about it again. People are having fun, which is good because the past like year and a half, the state of Dragon Ball FighterZ has been kind of ass, unfortunately. So they did a balance patch, cool, right? But also they announced that next year, the beginning of next year, we're getting a new character, right? That character in particular is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god. I'm till this day, it's been like 2 days already and I'm still at a loss for words. That is incredible. And it's Dragon Ball Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? If you've seen Dragon Ball Daima, you know that this version of Goku is a beast. This man is a one-man army, right? So I can't wait to see what they do with this character. But also I'm excited for the future of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Maybe he's the first character in a season pass that we're going to get later, right? Maybe. I don't know, dude. I think that would be a really cool reveal. At the end of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku trailer, they show like silhouettes for the rest of the characters coming. I would love that because Dragon Ball FighterZ is a special game. I think they should keep it going as long as possible, right? So, that's the Dragon Ball FighterZ of it all. Moving on, we're going to talk about Tekken, okay? Because Tekken, we knew that they were going to have a trailer here, specifically for Mary Zo, or I don't think you pronounce the O at the end of her name. I think it's Mariza. I'm gonna still call her Mary Zo until until it rolls off the tongue better, right? So Mary Zo, she's the final character of the season pass of season 2 of Tekken 8. And listen, man, I'm happy. Okay, I have Armor King. That's what I've been doing for that. Spoiler alert. That's what I've been doing for the past couple hours. I've just been doing Armor King stuff. And Mary Zo, she's the final character. And a lot of people, we were kind of underwhelmed when they announced this at EVO. We're like, okay, so the last character is this, you know, she's this cute Australian anime girl. Cool. Why is she the final character, right? The final character is supposed to be this big deal. And this is what we got. And yes, she is this cute Australian anime girl. And she's, you know, she's jumping around and she's doing some wall jumps and stuff. She could summon this like weird spirit pole and she could like pole dance on it. Whatever, man. This is kind of... Whoa, hold on now. Wait a minute. I spoke too soon. So Mary Zo, she is actually the reincarnation of Ogre. You remember Ogre? The big, the fighting god demon thing that we had to fight? And dude, Ogre is he's a recurring villain in the Tekken series, right? So the thing about Mary Zo is that she's not the ogre, but she's a ogre, right? Every continent has a different ogre. Harada, he spelled that out for us on Twitter the other day. But basically, the ogre from, you know, the earlier Tekken series, he's just one of, you know, a handful, you know? So Marizo, she's the reincarnation of the ogre of Australia, right? Which is why she has the glowing red eyes and they glow blue when she activates her ogre powers, right? She's got the snake arm and she can utilize the powers of other animals. She's got the lemur tail, you know? She can grow wings, and she has the staff as well, right? Kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. They completely changed how I felt about this character, because I was one of those dudes that was underwhelmed at EVO. No, she's been completely redeemed in my eyes. I think the way they worked her into the lore is pretty cool as well. Hopefully next season we get Devil Reina, right? Dude, hopefully there's some kind of boss battle with like full ogre Marizo. That would be sick. Anyway, Marizo, she comes out early December 2nd, I believe, which means the week after that is the Game Awards, which is really weird, right? Armor King wasn't even out yet, and we got the Marizo trailer, right? So to me and my big ass brain, I see this and I'm like, okay, well, clearly the Tekken team, they wanted Marizo to be out the door before the Game Awards, because clearly they, you know, either they have something to reveal, right? Maybe it's like a new story expansion or something, right? But clearly they wanted her out before the Game Awards, which the thought of that excites me more than the character herself. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what they do with Marizo and the future of Tekken 8. And then last but not least, we got one last thing to talk about. The final thing, when we all thought it was over, there's an Avatar fighting game. They announced an Avatar fighting game. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts that there's an Avatar fighting game now? So apparently, some people knew about this. Apparently in the zeitgeist, in the fighting game zeitgeist, people have been talking about this. I think maybe it's bounced off my ear a couple times. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a super duper big Avatar fan. I was as a kid, you know, especially those first couple seasons. But like towards the end, I fell off. I'm sorry. I know that's when it gets really good too, you know. And then the Korra stuff, I heard Legend of Korra wasn't that good, even though I think Korra is really, she's a really interesting character, you know, lore-wise, right? That she's supposed to be the ultimate Avatar. And from what it's been explained to me, she's like the worst one. She's like the failure that ruined the, you know, the title of Avatar, right? Really funny. Anyway, we got a few characters in this trailer, right? You know, the works. We got Zuko, Katara, Korra, Aang, my boy Sokka, you know. It's not him with the meteor sword though. He has a meteor sword in the show. That's not what he. This is like season 1 Sokka. Also Toph, everyone's favorite character. She's in this too. I wonder if they're gonna add in like side characters like the Boulder, huh? They're gonna need a big beefy boy, right? A big old grappler style character. That's where the Boulder should come in. I'm just saying. But anyway, this game, it looks like it's in early development. I know what they were going for. They wanted the animation to be 2D like the show. In my opinion, it comes off looking kind of choppy. I saw someone say that this game looks like it was made by the same dudes that created coolmathgames.com, which is really funny. I'm not agreeing with him. I'm just saying it's really funny that guy said that. But it's still early on. Maybe they could touch up the, you know, the animation a little bit, because it does look a little choppy. But other than that, I'm excited. I can't wait. Dude, I'm about to have a... Is it a team? I don't think it's a team game. I'm gonna use all the fire characters, you know me. So, anyway, guys, that's the majority of all the big announcements that we got at EVO France / New York Comic Con. What do you guys think? What was your favorite announcement? I am curious. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. さながら転がるタイヤのようにタイヤと切る三つ目のダイヤ悲しみが染みた生き死には死にか行きつけば自ら知りあるキラーブランニューエラーネバーエバーネガーエバー叶うことなど帰る場所は布団の中と思い込み自ら掘った穴にはまるこの罠落ちるそのマナー裏には虫かごの中